Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. We are back. I've been sick for a little while, but they couldn't keep me away. So I'm here. We've got an interesting list. Comes to us from Hearthstone, from Flux Flasher. Love that person. Love them for doing all their hard work over on Hearthstone.com. They're always posting up fantastic decks, high win rate decks. Always a person worth keeping an eye out for. And what they've got here is a Fatigue Warrior deck from a European player called Selkr, apparently representing over a 60% win rate at Legend, which is phenomenal, especially for Fatigue Warrior. And I think maybe the metagame has shifted to a point where Fatigue Warrior is back when we have played it in the past. Just like Control Warrior, unfortunately, when we were playing the deck, this deck is just so weak to combo decks. There's really not a lot you can do to interact with them. You give them all the time in the world to draw all their pieces, and then they can kind of just kill you. So, unfortunately, it wasn't doing too well at the time. But right now, maybe a lot of those combo decks are kind of receding. You know, we're seeing a lot more aggression, people being able to kill you through that, or even decks like Control Warlock that can actually take on those combo decks. A control deck that beats combo decks. So, now might be the time to be playing Fatigue Warrior, as Selkr may have found. And I really like this build of Fatigue Warrior, rather. If you haven't seen Fatigue Warrior before, we've done plenty of videos covering it. Currently, it's really based around the core of Dead Man's Hand. Having two of them, when you have both in your hand, if you use one, it's going to shuffle another copy of Dead Man's Hand back into your deck. When you draw that, you still have the first copy of Dead Man's Hand, so you can just keep rinse repeating. Never deck out, never go to Fatigue, and your opponent will. So that's the main kind of game plan, is simply just trading your resources for your opponent's resources, because eventually your opponent's going to use their 30 cards and not have any left, and you're still going to have cards to work with. So we see a really, really low to the ground Fatigue Warrior deck, and I can definitely get behind this. We've got just the one Eternium Rover, which I think is fine. At least gives us a 1-drop to mulligan towards. Just one Omega Assembly, and I think I initially thought that this was a bit of a mistake in Control Warrior decks, in Odd Warrior decks and stuff, but I don't think we have to rely on it too much. I think just the one might be enough, especially if we can shuffle some extra copies into our deck with Dead Man's Hand. We've got Shield Slam, fantastic control card, a one of Bring It On, which I definitely, I really like this because we can combo it with Shield Slam, particularly in the late game. It's quite good. One Dry Whiskerer Armorer. Interested that this is. We'll have to keep an eye out if we want it. If we want to play the second copy, because I think 2 Dry Whiskerer Armorers is pretty good, especially with decks like Odd Rogue around and Odd Paladin. This could just be a back-breaking card. Execute for some single target removal. Warpath, one of the cards we're going to be comboing with quite a lot of different cards. Kind of just a bit of a glue card for the deck. A Singleton Weapons Project. This is great against Twig of the World Tree. Good if you want to break your opponent's weapon. And we've also got the Harrison Jones here to kind of combo with it. Give us a bit more card draw. Speaking of card draw, we've got the Acolyte of Pain, Warrior Staple, Shield Block, Stonehill Defender. Not a card we've played too much of, I think, in this kind of archetype. But I think if we can discover some Lich Kings, even some Rotten Apple Bombs, that kind of stuff, just some really sticky minions, I think that can help us kind of, once again, deal with our opponent's 30 cards. 2 Blood Razors, Singleton Spellbreaker. I think that's kind of interesting. I'm not too sure what this is an out for, but I guess we'll find out as we play. 2 Brawls, 2 Giggling Inventor, just really gum the board down. Harrison we mentioned before, and then our late game package here, other than the Omega Assembly, is just a Singleton Dr. Boom, Singleton Scourgelord Garrosh, and 1 Lich King. I don't like Scourgelord Garrosh. I don't like running both of the Death Knights in the same deck, because I think we really are going to have to rely on Dr. Boom quite a lot in the late game. So hopefully we'll be looking for situations maybe where we can drop like Dead Man's Hand, then play Boom, then play Garrosh, then play another Boom or something like that. But I think I'd rather just cut this for like a Ysera or something like that. Just some other late game threat. But anyway, we'll jump to some games and see how we go with this Fatigue Warrior. Okay. We're against the Paladin. So we'd assume that this is Odd Paladin. I don't think we want any of these cards. Unfortunately, we don't have any Reckless Flurries in this deck. So we're really going to be relying on cards like Warpath and Brawl. But I think if we think it's Odd Paladin, let's try and hit some more early game. Particularly Dry Whisker Armorer, Acolyte of Pain.
Well met.
There we go.
None will survive.
Here's Odd Paladin.
Reporting for duty.
With a pretty good start here. Dry Whisker is fantastic. So this I don't think is a matchup where we're going to have to rely on actually fatiguing our opponent with the double Dead Man's Hand. We can kind of just get some value at some point.
Well played.
It is concerning that we don't have a Brawl or a Blood Razor or a Warpath. Our opponent's trading in for this. What do they got?
Reporting for duty.
The light dims, but we fight.
This is getting a little bit scary.
Let the pain speak to
Hopefully we can rip, get a draw or two off this Acolyte of Pain and draw into something pretty good, because this is getting scary. One of the ways that we can kind of lose this game is just by getting completely rolled by level up. Especially if they're just going to go for the hero power here.
Reporting
Alright.
for duty.
Warpath. No dice.
Bring the pain.
Ugh.
I wonder.
This is a tough one. We can go for it's like Stonehill's the best play if they don't have level up. But I think Shield Block might be the best play if they do, because it gets us another card deeper, and if they have the level up, then the only way we get through is with Brawl. So at least it gets us one card closer. Gets us one card closer to a potential Brawl. But maybe they don't fire the level up off because of Brawl? Yeah.
The light protects me.
Okay. So this might provoke the Brawl. Provoke the level up out of them. So like, well, I can't just stick on this, I gotta punch through. They don't have it. Maybe their hand is not like level up and stuff, it's like the Vine Cleavers and Storming Champions. The Medieval Inventor. There's a Brawl. I really didn't want to shuffle the coin into my deck, did I? That was a bit of a mistake. But we are going to need it for this Primordial Drake. if they truly do not have level up, this Drake will
Mushroom power!
be hectic.
Reporting for duty.
It was also worth considering, like, do we want to shuffle the Stonehill in, or do we want to shuffle the Primordial Drake in? I think we want to shuffle the Stonehill in. There's the Vine Cleaver.
Reporting for duty.
I gotta get ready to head off. Good luck with the Warrior stuff. It's good to see you back. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Hopefully your eye test goes good. I think I'm gonna kill this Vine Cleaver. That's what I want to do.
That belongs in a museum.
Well played.
Hey, there's our coin. We just gotta dodge a couple of turns, I think. So keen to give us the well played.
Out of my jungle!
So keen to give us the well played.
The light dims, but we fight.
Reporting for duty.
Ooh. Hope we get a good hero back.
Well played.
He did. Get some damage in. Don't need to be too passive. I imagine this Lich King might be pretty backbreaking.
Reporting for duty.
Warriors of the frozen wastes.
I think there we got him. Nice. So it did take us a little bit, but we did manage to turn the corner. I think Odd Paladin might be a bit of a favourable matchup for us. Maybe not exactly this deck. I think we might need like the Reckless Flurries and stuff to really, or Whirlwinds to kind of take it over the line. But it's a good game.
You face Mecha
And we face Mecha Jiraxxus.
Victory or death!
So if this is Healzu, Warpath is pretty good. And then we've been seeing kind of a bit of a mix lately, so I don't think we can rely on it. But
We have turned our
Even.
thirst into our
Okay.
strength.
even is an interesting matchup. It gets pretty dicey when you get down to like the if it gets down to like Gul'dan versus Boom. Vulgar homunculus.
Out of my jungle!
Now, do they have the jungle? They don't. Okay. Hey, twerp, go away. Is that what the homunculus says? That's wild.
What now?
That's what he said. Interesting. I can't believe I never paid attention to what it said. It's a card that I love playing. We've played so many budget Warlock decks where we can't play Kaliseth. This guy just goes straight in. Well, we haven't had to face down the Mountain Giant, which is, I think, the most problematic card for us to deal with.
Speak to me.
Especially because we haven't picked up any executes, we haven't picked up any like shield blocks or weapons projects to combine with this shield slam. Whoa! We just got wrecked.
Me hungry. You yummy.
It's not so bad, considering we don't have to rely on the Omega Assembly for late game.
Your magic shall not save me.
It's tough. It's a tough one to navigate. There's the man of the hour. Doompact might be okay. Okay, they didn't have the cycle, which is great. Rise. Ooh. Maybe we just fire off this Doompact now. Let's go. And Warpath. Okay, the Warpath kind of sucks to lose that, but
Let the Pain, speak to me.
Tarogger! My hand is full!
It's a good one to burn.
Has become our greatest strength.
Alright, so now we can Scourge Lord.
I will burn this world and rule its
Hero power. We get to cleave both of these. Then next turn we can try and set up the Dr. Boom, so that we are back in the business of gaining some armor.
pitiful mortal.
Just the 4/4.
Pitiful
Ah, we've got the Gul'dan. I can't see why they would do it otherwise.
before me. Kneel before me.
I'm Selkr.
So all we have to do is hold this brawl for the Gul'dan, and hope that we can armor through the Gul'dan hero power. If they have it now, though, that's a lot of turns. No. You sure? It's just Gul'dan. Ugh. Ugh. Did not want to do this. What else are we doing this turn? So we could play this Harvest Golem. Play Dead Man's Hand. Play Stonehill Defender? I guess. Oh, it has Rush. Get in there.
Out of my jungle.
Yeah, Cornered Sentry to go with our Dry Whisker or our Brawl. Let's do that. Okay. So we've dodged, the Lich King's gone, the 2 Mountain Giants are gone. It's really just this Blood Reaping.
And shadow.
Oh, it's the 3. 3 Demons. We got the Micro Squad. I mean, we don't even need to brawl. We can just kill all these things. Cool. I think their hero power is a little bit better than mine. Just a slight bit. Oh yeah, give me some armor in the bag. I think we maybe. Ooh, who knows? Maybe oh, they didn't even have one. They could have ripped like Eredar, Lord of the Burning Legion. I did kind of want that Phantom Militia though.
Nice little raptors.
Strong and shiny, special.
Strong and shiny.
Faster, faster.
Strong and shiny. This is what we want. We just want to rotate between this and the Discoverer mech. And that's all. guess we got to start working towards what we want to shuffle into our deck next with Dead Man's Hand. Like maybe we want to try and play a Blood Razor and a Void Ripper sometime soon.
Shields up!
Shields up, red alert.
None shall.
Temporal Eddie, what's going on? Good to see you. We're back in the saddle. Ooh. So we can like Void Ripper.
Reality
Blood
breaks.
Razor. Shoot this. Attack this.
Job done.
So now they're out of our hand, so we can... Dead Man's Handing this is pretty good, I would say. I'd like to draw an Execute, would be nice. We got our Blast Shield as well. Killing it. Killing it!
For now.
Get out of here.
Versus Rexar.
Okay.
Let the hunt
This Hunter.
begin. Victory
There
or
is...
death.
There are quite a lot of hunters around. Spell hunters, secret hunters, mid-range, hybrid mid-range. We got the Eternium over though, so we're pretty well set up against any aggressive minion-based versions, but not so much against Spell Hunter. Tracking gives us not a lot of information. If I were to make a guess, I'd say hybrid, because hybrid doesn't have a lot of other one-drops.
Master, master.
It's like tracking Diamol, sometimes Candle Shot, sometimes Hunter's Mark. Coin 3, Coin Animal Companion. Death Rattle, okay. I guess we have to kill this, right? Otherwise we just get Terrascale Stalked out of the game.
Master, master.
We have the Execute here, so if they trade in, we execute them. Otherwise we can hang behind the Stonehill. Lots of good vibes. Excited for the AFL tonight. We'll be playing the GP if my uni exams are all sorted by that time. What game's on tonight? Is it like a final, like a not finals? Is it like a top 8 or what's the sitch? No cubing. Way better to procrastinate from an assessment than I need to write checking out your stream though. Yeah, exactly. What assessment is it? Maybe I've got some hot tips for you. Hawthorn Boo vs Melbourne. Winner goes to top 4. Okay. I think I'll just get Stonehill out to try and develop a bit more of our game plan. Gastropod could be interesting. Why are you booing Hawthorn? They're just not... you don't vibe with that? Is there a historical reason behind it? Guess we can weapons project. Though I would kind of prefer to destroy an Eaglehorn bow. they don't have the Blood Knight this time. Oh, you're a Melbourne spotter. Well, that will make a lot of sense. Go home team. Boo away team. What's the who's higher ranked though? Who's got the better seed? Does Death Rattle Hunter play Eagle Combo? Guess that's the question. Ugh. It's a tough one, Dr. Boom. It's a real tough one. Yeah, let's go.
I wonder.
We're not doing anything better.
I'm so glad.
Hawthorn 4th, Melbourne 5th in the Swiss. Well, it's like super duper Swiss, right? Or not? Yes, it's like Swiss plus 20. So it's pretty close. I always like those top 8 matches where it's 4th versus 5th, because usually there's not much other than breakers. 7, like actually between them.
Out of my jungle!
Take the Ozrook. I mean... Ugh, no, we'll take the Druid Corsair. Yuck. What a yucky poo-poo selection from our Stonehill defender. "23 round Swiss." I'm sure if you to actually run a 23 round Swiss would require like more people than there are on the planet. Spootabam. What are you gonna do with that spider bomb, huh? What are you doing over here? What are you doing with this boy? Is this a turn where we have to warpath? I think the issue is if they have cube, we get a little dunked.
Go away!
But surely they would have cubed the Grizzly if they had the opportunity.
Job done.
Which they did last time. I always thought of myself as a bit of a stubborn gastropod. Yeah? You don't think of yourself as a... oh, jeez. What's another good one? A ravenous pterodax? Okay, yeah. Okay.
Blood and
Alright.
thunder.
We've given ourselves an out, which is to draw brawl. Don't worry, brawl on top, easy brawl on top. I mystic tutored it there before. Oh, my opponent wasn't looking. 3, 6, 9, 12, 17, 25, 26. Right there. Brawl. Well played. They did well. So a bit of an interesting matchup. I'd love to see the data behind the Fatigue Warrior versus Death Rattle, the big Death Rattle Hunter decks. So I'd love to see the data, see what the winning cards for the Fatigue Warrior are. I imagine if we hit some draw early on, it might have actually been a bit more of a smoother matchup. Because all we need to do is match their turns where they get those huge boards, those really resilient boards, with having answers for those boards. So this is the deck. Ultimately, I don't think there's anything that I'd really want to change. I think it's a very well worked out deck. Selkr is clearly a genius, and they've done the numbers and figured out all these one-offs are correct. I can definitely get behind some of them. The only thing that I personally don't like is the double Death Knight, the double hero rather. I'd like to see something different instead of this Scourge Lord Garrosh, whether that be, Geosculptor Yip, King Mosh, is a pretty good one, or Ysera, something like that. I'd like to see some of that going on, or at least experiment with it. But yeah, if you're watching this video on YouTube, all the links are down in the description, including a link over to the Hearthstone article. You can jump over there, check out this deck, leave a nice thoughtful comment, as I know you always will. Give the deck a +1. All of my links are down in the description as well, including a link over to Twitter. It's the best place to catch me. And also a link to the Wavepool Discord. If you want to come join my Discord, it's just small now, still growing, but we're trying to make it something special. You can come hang out. So until next time, stay safe, stay wavy. Bye.